Here's what happened. It was a beautiful Thursday 3 months ago. I started filming a spring cleaning-esque video. It didn't really have a plan. Hello friends, it's the first day of spring. I wanted to vlog today, I don't know, taking books to the used bookstore, which I've been wanting to do for a while, and making some money off of books that I hate. Because I recently cleared off my bookshelves and I got rid of like all of the 1 and 2 stars, but I've just been leaving them in bins, and this is 1 of 2. I tried to organize it a little bit this morning into ones that I think she'll actually take, because she doesn't obviously buy like really old ones, tattered ones, or like seconds or whatever they're called from the publisher where there's like a little mark on them. Rob was there too. You can say hi. Rob's gonna carry my books in for me.
I'm here as a mule, and that is it.
It's spring break and we're just like living our best lives. Did you just yawn?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I boring you? I know he was joking, but at this point I'm feeling like an inconvenience, so I don't even go show you all of the titles of each individual book for time's sake, which is what I guess was the point of the video in my mind. Anyway, let's go to the bookstore. Okay, I have to look through all of them. Can you just put it down for a sec?
Oh my lord, really?
No, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say all the titles. I'm just gonna show like a layer. Here's what I'm bringing. And then there's some books. There's some books. Oh, I didn't mean these ones.
Jesus Christ.
Whoops, I didn't mean those ones are old. Wait,
Let's go.
Okay. Okay. Whatever. Then I did some book browsing. We're at my favorite used bookstore, Ted's. I don't really find much. I'm looking around. I even go to like the kids section. It takes a while for her to go through the 40 titles and decide what she wants to buy from me. I think I should increase my collection of Nancy Drews.
I feel like Nancy Drew, you can't go wrong.
And she ended up taking 20 of them. That's one of the biggest credits I've ever gotten there, $70 towards books that I want that I can pick up next time. All right, she took about half my books and I made $70. And here's the ones that she didn't take. So I don't know if I'll stop by a different bookstore or I'll just put these ones in the donation bin for the library book sale. Now hold on to that mention of me donating the rest of what's in that bin to the library bin. It's outside of our local rec center. I've taken you there before. I donate books all the time. And then of course I bought things because I'm in a bookstore. I found 5 more Mary-Kate and Ashley books, and I wasn't planning on continuing the collection because like the day that I can finally make this video will be years from now, but I couldn't help myself. And the 2 thrillers that I've seen around, this one is Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Kurian, and this one is 27 Minutes by Ashley Tate. I think I've heard mixed things about both of them, but since I've heard of them, I bought them. Well, there was a lot of things I've heard of, but I don't know. How do you justify what books you pick up? Now pause. If you look closely, you might see the stack of books that I spent 30 of my $70 worth of credits on getting slid in the back right next to that laundry basket of rejected books on its way to the library donation book bin.
You just buy them all, and the ones you don't like, you sell back to the store.
At this point in my mind, I've like canceled the vlog concept. I don't even know what it was supposed to be to begin with. I didn't even film like an outro to that clip. I didn't film a proper intro to the video. I didn't really know what I was filming or what the point of it was. I didn't show you the process of going through my shelves and deciding what I was going to get rid of, and then I didn't end up showing every single title of what I was getting rid of. So I was like, I'm not going to continue vlogging today. Like, Rob's getting a little impatient anyway. So that day I didn't end up stopping at any Little Free Libraries or the library donation bin, and that laundry basket sat in the back of my Jeep for a month. Mid-April, Rob comes home from Liam's first baseball practice, and he's like, I had to clean out the Jeep. There was that laundry basket in the back full of books, and I needed to make room for Liam's sports stuff, so I just dropped it off at that library donation bin at the rec center. I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. I totally forgot to do that. I got my laundry basket back. I've been missing it for the last month. Awesome. The very next day, I go to film my spring book haul, and I'm like, I swear I had more books than this. Where are those books that I bought at the used bookstore? Oh my god, they must have ended up in the bin. So now my books are being held hostage by this evil metal prison. Could I just reserve them from the library to read them? Yeah. Could I go probably find them again and repurchase them at Ted's for the same price I paid last time with my remaining credits that I still have? Probably. But today is the first day of summer, and the Friends of the Library organization hosts their summer book sale this weekend. And what are the odds that I go there and I find the books that I myself donated and I just buy them back for $2, and that I'm supporting the library and getting my books. This is the mission that I have chosen to accept. Come along with me. I'll see you on Saturday. What do you have to say about donating my books that I just bought?
You should probably put them in a separate spot. It's basically your fault.
We made it. Check it out. Liam has his tournament, his final in 1 hour, and we're 50 minutes away. So I have 10 minutes to go find my books. Do you think I can do it?
Probably.
Do you believe in me?
Yeah.
Robin to film. That was the most crammed experience of my life. Pull out the books. I didn't even get to film. I wanted to film my reaction to finding my book. I found the book.
Nice.
I also got 2 ARCs that I wanted. I don't think that was all of their books because they have a big book sale every fall, and this was just like a little one in between because there was barely anything in there. They only had like 3 boxes of mysteries, and I looked thoroughly.
I was looking behind the actual shelves though. They had all their boxes stacked like 10 high, a whole wall of them. So as they were emptying, they're bringing new boxes out.
Oh, so it's just a smaller space. They still have all the books. So I'll probably come back tomorrow by myself, but finding 1 of 2 felt pretty freaking lucky. I didn't bother looking for the Mary Kate and Ashleys because we have to get to baseball. But hey, now I have something to read in between games today. Get down.
Yeah!
Yes. Dropped it. Yes.
Nice.
Nice, Liam.
Good patience.
Okay, first game of the day is 12:10 Us. And I decided to start reading this because clearly I didn't get enough footage, like actually book shopping. So now I'm gonna read this book in the vlog and maybe the other book in the vlog, but I'll just pick it up from the library. I got significantly into this, like 100+ pages, and I don't know, it started out really confusing where it shouldn't be because there's not that many POVs, but we are 10 years after somebody has died. We have a character named Phoebe who 10 years ago got in a car accident with some other people. It's like unclear exactly who was there, but 10 years later, somebody else crashes on the same bridge that she died on, and they're talking about now taking down the bridge. And we're reading from the perspective of like the daughter of the woman who just died on the bridge, the brother of the person who died 10 years ago, the friends of the girl who died 10 years ago. 27 minutes is in reference to how long it took her brother, who was at the accident with her, to call the police to report what happened. And people are saying like, oh, it's probably because he was trying to sober up, blah, blah, blah. So that's obviously not going to be what it is. And I have my theories already about what he could be up to, especially with the mention of like other people potentially having been at the crash. So I have my thoughts, but I don't love like how it's written. I don't love how all of the character perspectives seem to hold the same weight as if they're equally important. And it was confusing who was who at the beginning. I feel like it needed to introduce me to like one thing at a time, but instead it was like 5 different things, 5 different people, 5 different perspectives, and who's related to who and how that was all working was just a little confusing. I'm taking notes and trying to keep track of who's who, so that's where I'm at this point. I don't like the writing.
Run it up.
Nice, Sam.
Yeah!
Runner!
Good hustle, Lee.
Toes up. Attaboy!
Nice hit.
Yeah, hard, hard, hard!
Nice, Sam.
Yeah!
We're home. I'm sure you could tell. I'm gonna tell you all of the reasons why I'm sad. Sound good? Number 1, baseball season is over. I love baseball. I love baseball so much. Like, if hockey is a 10 out of 10 for me to watch, and soccer's a 1, baseball's a 9. Like, I love it. I can't convince Liam to do summer ball. Also, we're just not in town enough in the summer. Number 2 reason I'm sad, they lost their game. They did get 2nd place overall, I guess, in the entire, like, Okanagan or South Okanagan. I don't know how it works. Reason I'm sad, baseball is confusing. They lost their 2nd game just by, like, 1 run, but again, Liam did great things. It was a fun time. Reason number 3 I'm sad, I'm so sunburnt. And the reason that I'm sunburnt is another reason that I'm sad. And that's that I can't wear sunscreen anymore. I am allergic to something in my sunscreen. I don't know if anybody would have noticed, but I was really swollen in one of my clips in the hockey video I just posted, and I didn't address it then, and that wasn't like because of another time that you've already seen me all swollen and allergic. But that time that I was swollen and allergic, it was because of this. And I've been using Sun Bum for years, and suddenly it's causing a reaction. And I also had to start a new skincare. The only moisturizer that isn't causing me an issue is this one right now. And I also had a little bit of a reaction to another sunscreen. I can't remember what it was. But so now I'm just scared to use any sunscreen. And I was under an umbrella for most of it, and only not when the clouds were out, but I guess the clouds did not provide the coverage that I thought, and I made a mistake. There's something in sunscreen that I'm allergic to, but how do I figure out what it is without causing more allergic reactions? Don't know. Next reason I'm sad, this book sucks. And not only did I buy it once, I bought it twice, and it's bad. I guess I'm also sad that I didn't find the other book, but I just want to, like, have I really taken the time to acknowledge and be like, have I been jazzed enough about this that I found my book? I found my book. Like, it's from Ted's. It has the price tag. This is crazy. I guess I'm also a little bit sad that I just planned my reading sprints for tomorrow with my channel members, and I wasn't thinking about the library book sale, and then I planned them right during the library book sale, so I'm not gonna go back tomorrow after all. But maybe that's a good thing, because like I still had success and you get to see me win as far as finding it, which was the whole goal. And then I'll just go get the other one from the library, because what if that's a flop too? I hate that I tried so hard to get this book and it's not good. And I don't know how to describe how not good it is. It's poorly written. It really is poorly written. Sentence structure, dialogue is so unrealistic. It feels like these characters don't actually exist. Like they're all just having imaginary conversations. And that brings me to my prediction that I think some of these people don't exist. I'm only gonna leave this clip in if I give this book under 3 stars, and therefore at the end I'm going to disrecommend it. I'm gonna leave in this little rant portion, spoilers, because I don't care to spoil it if I think it's a bad book in the end, but you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. There is a character in here who, should I introduce you to any of them? I don't know. There's Phoebe and Becca and June and Wyatt and Grant. Those are the main people that we're talking about. Some of them in accidents, some of them responsible for accidents, some of them dating people. And there's one girl in here who is clearly, like, we are to understand her as being delusional. She thinks that she's in a relationship with somebody and she's not. And she's always been like obsessed with this guy. And I think because that is being so clearly established, maybe like, I can't tell why the author is doing this. Either the author doesn't want us to know that she's delusional, and so she's making everybody seem delusional, or she's trying to distract us with this delusional girl and therefore not think the other people are equally delusional. But there's clearly a character in here in my mind who like doesn't exist and is being hallucinated. The dialogue between a couple of the people is almost unreadable. It is so jarringly bad. And I think to pull off this narrative voice, it needs to be in first person, because we're getting all of these POVs and they're all in third person. It just feels like the author doesn't know how to write, as opposed to you're in a character's mind who doesn't know how to communicate. This is 10 years after the accident. for absolutely no reason. There's no reason for it to be 10 years in the future. It doesn't accomplish anything. The characters and the way they're talking to each other, it could have been a week ago that this happened. But because it's 10 years later, all of the characters should be behaving 10 years older. They should be acting like they're in their 30s. They're not. Like, what I'm struggling with the most is, okay, well, obviously, I'm not telling you about the plot. There's no plot. That nothing is happening. I'm 2/3 of the way through this book. Nothing is happening. They're all just reflecting on the accident 10 years ago. That's it. It's like, oh, what did happen in those 27 minutes? Oh, I wonder if that boy who I talked to for 2 minutes likes me. Oh, I wonder if the girl who died was mad at somebody. I wonder. I have a secret. I wonder about this other person. And then we switch to another person's POV and they're like, I have my own secret. I wonder if this person was dating this person. This is definitely not a thriller, so my bad if I thought it was. Oh my God, Ashley Audrain said this has elevated prose. Craziest thing I've ever read. Characters with depth. Absolutely not. Unpredictable twists. Okay, if it goes there, I will bite my tongue. I will change my tune. What else? It's taut, raw, powerful suspense. Absolutely not. Jenny Hollander said equal parts haunting and propulsive. This fast-moving thriller. Stop. You did not read this book if you thought it was a fast-moving thriller. I'm talking a lot of shit about a book I haven't finished. But man, this is ruining my day. The sun is setting and I am spent. I can't believe I bought this book not once, but twice, and I'm giving it 1 star. This was not the joyous reunion that I envisioned. Everything was so obvious from the beginning, and unfortunately, there's only one thing you're wondering this entire book. There is no present, active storyline going on. I was so bored waiting for the answer to everything that I already knew from page 50 that I started coming up with all of these different ideas of what it could be, and maybe this book is trying to trick me into doing this. At one point, I decided this entire story was like a novel written by the 15-year-old in the story, and that's why it was so poorly written, is because it wasn't actually like the author's voice. It was a 15-year-old's voice who was writing like fan fiction about her own life and like what her life would be like in 10 years. There are so many scenes where a character would like switch personalities halfway through the scene, which felt like the author went somewhere halfway through writing something and then came back and didn't read what she previously wrote and forgot that her character was being like bitchy in a certain scene, because halfway through, even though the other person is behaving completely consistent throughout their dialogue, someone will just switch their attitude. They'll be like being really nice to somebody and then suddenly they'll be like, and you fucking bitch. And that's fine if there was supposed to be like a triggering element or a reason behind these personality dynamics, but it was happening with multiple characters, multiple scenes, completely unconnected, and it was just so weird. Everything that I thought was going to happen did indeed happen, except for one little thing, so I will go into spoilers really quick because like I really don't recommend this book. There's a girl who is hallucinating her brother, but he actually died, and so the night that the girl was killed, there was 27 minutes between her the crash happening and then her dying, or the ambulance getting there. And it's because he actually, like, she died in the vehicle because they hit this kid who is the guy who the other girl who's the living girl in the current day, 10 years later timeline, is hallucinating. Her brother like ran away 10 years ago at the exact same time as the accident, and throughout the book we're wondering where he is, but he's actually back. But he's clearly not back, because the way that she's describing him, like, he's obviously not real. Either way, it was just like clear from the beginning that this guy also died on that night. But I thought maybe that they were dating, like they were secretly dating, Grant and Wyatt, because Grant the whole time like isn't in a relationship. This delusional girl thinks that she's with him, and he's just like trying to keep something, hide something from his sister. And I thought, okay, so he's dating Wyatt, and then killed him on that night. And the dating part wasn't true, but he did indeed kill him. He like hit him with the car, and then instead of getting him help or whatever, he like pushed him off a bridge. And that's why he was never found, or like nobody ever knew that he was dead. And I guess I didn't fully predict how that all went down, but like that's not a shocking twist or reveal. Maybe it is for somebody. For somebody out there likes this book. What's the average rating? And like you could say to me that this is like it's not supposed to be a mystery. It's not supposed to be a thriller. It's just like a sad story about loneliness and confronting your grief and whatever. And that's fine because people say that about Ashley Audrain's The Push, which I also hated. And like, I don't care what the genre is. It's still a bad book. You know what I mean? Oh, this has a 3.23 average rating. I've heard mixed things about it for sure, but I thought it was a well-liked one. Okay. The good news is this price here that I paid the first time, I paid $2 the second time. I can actually take this back to Ted's and they will give you half of the store credit if you bought it from there. So I will go and get $4.50-ish immediately. Like, even if she doesn't want the book, she has to buy it back. I think that's the law. So at the end of all of it, I will have only spent $6 on this book. I still bought it twice. And now I have to talk about it multiple times this year in all of my least favorites videos and whatnot. So I won't trade it back in until the end of the year. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the library tomorrow and pick up that other book because I don't want to regret, again, this purchasing situation. I have had a very chaotic start to my day and therefore didn't vlog going to the library and grabbing this book, but here I am to read it today. I am currently doing reading sprints with my channel members. Here they are. Say hello. And I'm starting in on Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Kurian. Now, definitely forgot what this was. When I go to a library book sale or when I go to a used bookstore or I'm not paying full price for a book, I just know it's on my TBR. I know I've loosely heard about it and I'm more willing to spend the money on it than obviously a full price book. So I had this on my TBR at some point. I do believe it might have actually been an option in the Literally Dead Book Club like November pick, where we always vote on it every year. Last year, maybe the year before. It obviously didn't get chosen, but it's always been on my radar since. And I just started it without reading the synopsis. And it's about psychopaths. So that's an interesting decision to make. I think that you could talk about like the representation of that. Obviously not something that I'll be able to touch on, or like the implications or ethics about like who you're kind of talking about, like what kind of mental illness or whatever you're talking about in books. But it does also make sense that a psychopath, not that all of them are dangerous, but you are likely to follow one in a book that's about killing people. So what's happening in here is we have a character named Chloe who is a psychopath, and she's been invited to this like research study where she's going to college. It's been paid for by them, and she has to go like visit the whoever it is, the professor who's putting on the study. And there are seven others at this university with her. Chloe is one of 7 students at her DC-based college who are part of an unusual clinical study of psychopaths. So she also has to wear this watch that tracks her, I don't know, like heart rate, mood. She has to answer these questions occasionally. And her and these students are just a part of the study. And she is going under the guise of participating, but her real goal is to kill somebody. She had this person she knew in childhood named Will, and she wants to kill him. And so that's her goal of going to this school and participating in this study, is that she gets the opportunity to get close to him, figure out like where he hangs out, and eventually kill him. That's all I know so far. There are sections written in first person from Chloe, so she's obviously the main character, but then we are visiting in third person all of the participants, including Chloe. So it'll be like Chloe went to the office and met with this guy, and then we're also visiting Andre, and then Andre talking to the people doing the study. And so we're in her head, but also seeing like what she's up to on the outside. And I don't really know what the mystery is at this point, or if it says it in here, but I don't really want to know. I just think it's interesting. My first impression is that the study is going to be like unethical in some way. They're doing something else than what they're telling the participants. There's going to be some reveal there, but then also her wanting to kill Will is its own plot. And what else is going on in here? No idea. I like the writing. I've read the first 40 pages. And I will continue to read and continue to update you. 100 pages in. Turns out Vera Kurian here has a PhD in social psychology. So if someone's gonna write a story like this, it'd be her. And I dig it. A couple of surprising things have happened. There are multiple characters we're getting introduced to. Somebody has died, which it does talk about in the synopsis. There's like what seems like it could almost be a budding relationship in the book. Lots of people grappling with their emotions, lack of emotions. It's just interesting. I'm having an interesting time. I grabbed the audiobook for a little bit and I'm liking it. And I hope I end up liking the book because that'll really turn the video around. Hello, I am in so much more of a headspace to be reading today. So I'm making my way through this and all I have to say is the revenge girlies need to get on this. I feel like that group of readers, the ones who just like love an unhinged woman story, it often exists in horror and it gets like gruesome. And maybe because of the genre, you don't feel like the character needs to be redeemed in any way. And horror just allows for such ridiculousness and depraved behavior to just exist. But there's definitely thriller mysteries who also have that vibe, and this is one of them. This woman has a very clear goal, but she gets derailed because someone else in their program is doing fucked up stuff too, and now she has to figure out who that is. Nobody knows who's in the program. So there'll be various characters who you learn are or aren't. Just a lot of moving parts, and it's also fun. I'm having a very good time. I think I'm 3/4 of the way through. The audiobook is also decent. That's my book update. My life update. Let's see. I am taking pictures of bookmarks. The book charm shop is so stocked and there are beautiful things happening. Some of like my favorite crystals and gems are in here right now. There's some things specifically for Leo and Cancer season, and it's just cute stuff, and I'm so proud of my mom for doing all of this. And I just love seeing all of your orders come in, and it feels very special. So I saw her this morning because she had to drive me to the mechanic because we're going on a trip soon and I really needed my brakes done, or so I thought, and my sway bar replaced. And I took it in and I just got a call from them. They were like, your brakes don't need to be done. I was like, oh, okay. It was something else that was like an easier fix. And you need to get a good mechanic who's not gonna do stuff that you don't need done. So if anyone in the Okanagan is looking for someone, Diebel Auto Place, Auto Center, something like that. I've been going there like 10 years. They're the best. Not that I feel like that's gonna apply to many people, but I do sometimes get asked like where I get my nails done, which is Exotic Nails. Sometimes I get asked where I get my hair done, which is Jenna at Blonde and Balayage. So I know there are some people around here, and no one's ever asked me where I get my mechanics done, because why would you? But there's your recommendation. Oh, I also repainted my dresser today. Big, huge accomplishments happening in my life. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to see Jenna to get my hair done. And tonight is the Stanley Cup final. So everything is just great spirits right now, especially because I didn't have to pay to get my brake pads changed. And hopefully the big win of the day is that this book gets a high rating from me. I finished the second book, and I'm really sad that this is the one that I didn't find at the library book sale. This one I did and I hated it, and this was the one that has a high rating for me. I'm giving it a 4. Unfortunately, the ending just did not stick the landing. There was a lot of buildup, a lot of drama. I was having so much fun, and then it's not like it did anything terrible. It was just like kind of expected and kind of fine. This is definitely an over-the-top kind of thriller, suspend your disbelief kind of thriller, and then the ending, it was just like nicely tied up, made sense, and I think it could have gotten a lot more wacky, for lack of a better word. I think the author did a fantastic job in showing that this is a complex diagnosis and that everybody experiences it differently. I think some people could read this wishing that we got a lot more from like the doctors and the researchers, and it talked a lot more about psychopaths, but it wasn't that. It was from their perspective. And I think for me, I enjoy that because I like characters who are self-aware and who have agency in books. They were all manipulating each other, but they all knew that the other people were trying to manipulate them. It could have been like 7 different POVs. I think that probably would have been excessive, but when you hear that there's 7 different people in this program, you only really hear from 3, like maybe that would be disappointing to some people. But I think these characters really exemplified the range of like dangerous behaviors that you that people find themselves getting caught up in when this is your reality. I'll definitely read more from this author. I'm excited to do so. Somebody just recommended me in a video her most recent one, and now I'm like hyped to continue with this author. I just thought it was a good time, and I'm looking to be surprised and entertained. And I was entertained, but there was also a couple surprising moments throughout the book. Not like grand twists, but it had enough elements that in the end I gave it a 4. So thank you so much for watching this silly little vlog. I read 2 thrillers that I was excited about, enough to buy them twice. We went on a little adventure, had a little story time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.